So my name's Christine and I work at Voiceflow. I've been here for a couple months now. Right now I'm a growth associate. That's changed a couple of times already since I've gotten here. When I first got here, my main role was around user research. So that involved reaching out to voice user interface designers, understanding what their workflows look like, analyzing that, but then it quickly evolved into sales, a little bit of recruiting here and there, and now I'm working on growth with our new head of growth who joined us just last week. Voiceflow is a design, prototype, and build tool for professional voice user interface designers, and it allows you to design your entire flow of your conversation and upload that directly to Alexa or Google. So the typical day varies a lot. It will normally start with a stand-up though, so everyone will meet at the back of the room, we'll talk about what we did yesterday and then what our plan is for that day. And then from there, I'll probably have like an hour of work before lunch, and then the afternoon will be filled with maybe user interviews, some meetings with the team, or just working on whatever is important at that time. So I heard about Voiceflow maybe a year ago when they were still Storyflow through a mutual friend of mine. And then that time they were more focused on children's interactive stories on Alexa. And since then they've obviously switched into a design, prototype, and build tool for voice user interface designers. And since I heard about that, it was much more interesting because the space is so huge and it's growing really quickly. So I trusted the team. I thought the space was growing very rapidly, and that's why I decided to join Voiceflow. So I used to work with Braden pretty regularly as part of Voiceflow. He's the co-founder here and CEO. We would do user interviews together. He would walk me through how to do a demo and give me the ins and outs of the entire voice industry. There's a lot of technical things here and there, so that was a lot at the beginning, and now I'm mostly working with Emily, who's our head of growth, and we're brainstorming how to gather more users, how to increase awareness, educate people on the voice space, and those are the two people that I work with the most. So if you're looking to find a role in a startup, or if you're looking to start your career in an early stage startup, I would say taking initiative is a huge part of success here. There's not always people that know exactly what to do or have the time to tell you what to do, so you should be looking out for opportunities that you can contribute to and making those opportunities open up for yourself. So the interview process was super informal. It was first me reaching out to Braden because he was a friend of mine from before, because they posted a sales role and I had come from a sales background. But then I was very honest with what I was looking for in my career, and I wasn't looking to pursue a sales role. I just wanted to open up the conversation around working at Voiceflow and helping the team and company scale. So we had back and forth conversations with him and different co-founders on the team, and eventually they actually said no to me, but because I really wanted to work here and I didn't want to continue my sales career at my previous job, I had pushed them to do a 1-month contract with me to just try me out, and if they wanted to hire me full-time afterwards, then we could talk about that later on, but it would also give me some time and a little bit more experience in the startup space to get my feet on the ground. And then eventually, like 2 weeks into my contract, they ended up giving me a full-time offer, and that's why I'm here still right now. One challenge that I think of is speaking to users. So I came into the company without a lot of knowledge on the voice space, without ever having talked to a user or read a lot about the voice space beforehand. So when I first got on the phone with them, I was a little bit scared of being asked a question that I couldn't answer, but After shadowing a lot of people, talking to a lot of people, I was quickly able to learn and adapt so I could do these calls on my own. And my sales experience from before, where I was calling and talking to a lot of people, gave me enough confidence and enough practice to get comfortable really quickly. So there's lots of skills that I learned in high school and university that I think are really applicable into the workplace. So in high school, that really came from participating in extracurricular activities. You had to take a lot of initiative to take that extra time out of your day to participate in all of the organizations that you have available in your school. So that really translated into how I will always put my hand up for opportunities in the workplace today. And in university, I took sales and negotiations courses, which I think were the most applicable for me in my current role and in my previous role, and really helped set a good foundation for the early stages of my career. I think working in a startup is really awesome because there's so many different things that you can be doing at any given time. The day-to-day changes all the time, the week-to-week changes, because you never know where the company is going to be in a month or 2 months from now. So that's always really exciting in comparison to a larger company. The downside might be that you don't know what you're doing, the people around you don't know what they're doing either, but the fun part is that you're all working together to make sure that something comes out of this. So in my prior role, I was at Uber Eats as a sales rep, so I was responsible for restaurant acquisition onto the platform. So I would reach out to maybe about 40 to 60 restaurants a day. I would pitch them, overcome their objections, and then pass them off to our onboarding team if they did sign up. In addition to that, I would help with mentoring new sales reps or helping with recruiting, and also participating in certain activities with the operations team where we would do analysis on special sales teams or creating sales enablement tools for the team using SQL or Excel. So I spent the last year in a sales role. That was really rewarding, but also very, very challenging. When you're calling 40 to 50 people a day, there is a high chance that almost all of them will just hang up on you or they won't want to talk to you at all. So it requires a lot of grit and developing really thick skin and being able to take no for an answer, yet continuing to push forward regardless. So for example, I would have a lot of restaurants that would say no to me initially, but I would keep calling them back every maybe 2 weeks, even maybe every 3 months or so, and eventually they would see the value of Uber Eats, and that's when they would sign up. So it was always a little bit of persistence and of course selling a good product that you believe in, which really would allow me to succeed in my role and has translated really well into my communication skills and my persistence outside of sales. In terms of career and personal goals, I don't have something set for the next 10 years. Right now, I don't really know what I want to do. I don't really know what I like to do. So hopefully by that time, I at least have a clear direction of where I want to move into. And I would also like to be working towards some sort of personal venture, some sort of form of entrepreneurship by that time. And yeah, we'll see. I think the most important thing that I learned since finishing school is that there is no linear path. I think from elementary school to high school to university, maybe even a master's, there's always a next step and you know what you're working towards, but after you graduate, there's no plan, like there's nothing that you should be doing, there's no easy way to understand how well you're doing because there's no grades in real life. So there's a lot of figuring things out when you graduate, there's a lot of ambiguity, and there's never going to be a certain next thing for you to do. So I've learned to be able to deal with that uncertainty and to take things day by day instead of stressing out about what things might look 5 or 10 or 20 years from now, because nobody in this world knows, not even you. For current high school students, I would say definitely keep your eye out for all opportunities available. If you're interested in something, definitely reach out to the people that are there, start conversations with them, and maybe an internship might come out of that, or you can even create an internship for yourself. If they don't know that they need you right now, show them that they do need you. Whether that be, in a form of a PowerPoint presentation, or even offering an internship for them where you can work for them, and that way you can accelerate your learning really quickly.